I walked the same loop every night. Same 3 streets. Same 45 minutes. Same stretch of sidewalk past the house on Linden, where the hedge comes right up to the curb. I've been doing it for 11 years now. I know every crack in the concrete. I'm telling you this so you understand. I would have noticed. The loop started after my divorce. My therapist called it establishing a new rhythm. I called it getting out of the apartment before the walls started feeling close. Either way, it worked. 45 minutes every night, rain or cold or whatever. I saw the seasons change the same block 3 times a year. I watched kids grow up. I watched an old beagle named Gus go gray around the muzzle, and then stop appearing in the front yard across from the Morrisons. I have an online chess rating that went up every one of those 11 years. 1840 now. I'm telling you that because it's the only thing in my life that's ever gotten consistently better. And it got better because of the walks. I'd work a problem in my head the whole loop and come home and play it out. That's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of life it was. 11 years of the same loop. 11 years of the same hedge. I noticed the woman on a Tuesday. It was around 10. I remember because I waited out a weather report before leaving. There'd been a storm cell rolling east, and I didn't want to be out in it. By the time I hit Linden, the rain had stopped and everything smelled like wet asphalt and cut grass. The streetlights made little halos in the mist. I was looking down at the sidewalk, thinking about a night sacrifice, when I felt it. That feeling, you know the one, the back of the neck feeling, the one that's just evolution saying, something's looking at you. I looked up. She was maybe 4 feet off the sidewalk, set back inside the hedge at about waist height. Just her face, pale, framed by the dark leaves like a cameo in a brooch. Her eyes were open. She wasn't blinking. I froze. I actually stood there with my foot half lifted like a sitcom character. Then, my brain caught up. It's a mannequin head. Somebody's kid put a mask in the hedge for Halloween. Halloween was 7 months away. A prank then, or a yard decoration, or... I took 2 steps closer. She was still there. Her eyes tracked me. I ran. I didn't run the rest of the way home. I ran to the end of Linden, stopped under the streetlight at the corner of Beach, and looked back. From there, the hedge was just a hedge. A long, dark shape against a lit-up house. I couldn't see her from that angle. Couldn't see anything at all. I stood there for a long time, breathing. I'm a 43-year-old accountant who's never in his life had a moment he would describe as paranormal. I don't watch horror movies. I don't believe in ghosts. I have an alarm clock that wakes me up at 6:15 so I can input numbers into spreadsheets until 5:30. And then I walk. And then I sleep. That's my life. It's pretty boring. And, well, I like it that way. I walked home. I locked the door. I had a beer that I didn't even really want. And then I started doing the thing. It was a mask. It had to be a mask. The eyes only looked like they were tracking you because that's what faces do. You look at a portrait and the eyes follow you. Everyone knows that. It was dark. It was misty. You'd been thinking about nothing and your brain filled in a face the way it finds faces in wood grain or electrical outlets. Pareidolia. Yeah, that's the word. Pareidolia. I said the word out loud in my kitchen. Pareidolia. I felt better. I didn't walk the next night. I told myself it was the weather. The weather was fine. Wednesday, I walked again, but I took a different route. Down Oak, cut across the park, came home along the north side, skipped to Linden entirely. At the corner, where I would have turned onto Linden, I stopped. Just stopped. My feet wouldn't take the turn. I told myself it was nothing. I told myself I was being stupid. I told myself a lot of things. Thursday, I went back. I don't know why. That's not true. I know exactly why. I couldn't stand not knowing. I've been sitting at my desk all day trying to reconcile a client's accounts and seeing her face every time I closed my eyes. I've been sitting at my desk all day trying to reconcile a client's accounts and seeing her face every time I closed my eyes. Pale, framed, tracking. If I didn't go back and prove to myself it was a mask, I was going to lose my mind. So, I went back. I brought a flashlight. The hedge looks like, well, any hedge. Hawthorn, maybe. Or privet. I'm not a plant guy. It runs about 30 feet along the front of a beige 2-story with a wraparound porch. Nobody's ever on the porch. I've walked past that house 11 years, and I'm not sure I could even tell you who lives there. Just a car in the driveway. Sometimes two. A doormat. A wind chime. I stopped across the street and looked. Nothing. Just hedge. I crossed over. Walked slow. Kept the flashlight off, but my thumb on the switch. Mask. It's a mask. I'll pull the mask out and laugh at myself and walk home. I found the spot. Or what I thought was the spot. The hedge looked the same everywhere, but I could pick out the place where the leaves bunched a certain way, a little hollow that the rest of the hedge had grown around. I clicked the flashlight on. She was gone. You see? Pareidolia. You see? I felt my whole chest loosen. I actually laughed a little. I stood there on the sidewalk with a flashlight pointed into some stranger's hedge like a lunatic, laughing. Then, I moved the flashlight beam 6 inches to the left. She was there. She'd just been farther than I remembered. The beam caught her eyes first. They didn't reflect. That's the thing I keep remembering. A cat's eyes reflect. A deer's eyes reflect. Her eyes ate the light. She was looking right at me. Her mouth moved. Slow and deliberate, shaping something with no sound behind it. 2 or 3 words. Then she stopped and just watched me. I didn't run this time. I couldn't. My legs had forgotten what legs did. I stood there on the sidewalk with the flashlight shaking in my hand, and I looked at her, and she looked at me. And I noticed, in some clinical part of my brain that was still taking notes, that her skin, it was the color of something that had been underwater for a long time. Then, a car came up Linden, and the headlights swept over the hedge, and I broke. I ran. I ran the whole way home. Actually ran. 43 years old and gasping, and I didn't look back. Not once. I didn't walk Friday. I didn't walk Saturday either. I thought about calling the police. I kept picturing how the call would go. Hi, yes, I'd like to report a face. Yeah, no. I'd be the neighborhood weirdo by Sunday. I thought about knocking on the door of the beige house. I didn't do that either. Sunday, I did something I'm not proud of. I drove past Linden at noon, in daylight, with the sun up and kids on bikes, and a guy mowing his lawn 2 doors down. I parked across the street, and I just sat there in my car and looked at the hedge. In the daylight, the hedge was nothing. Green leaves, brown branches, a few white flowers starting to come in. I could see into it, mostly. I could see where the hollow was. Empty. I sat there, I don't know how long. At some point, the front door of the beige house opened, and an older woman came out onto the porch. Gray hair, cardigan, reading glasses on a chain around her neck. She looked at my car. not alarmed. Just looked. The way you look at something that doesn't belong. I rolled down my window and waved because what else do you do? She walked down the porch steps and across her lawn and stopped at the edge of the hedge. She didn't come any closer. She just stood on the side of her hedge, and I sat on my side, and she looked at me over the top of her reading glasses, and she said, clear as anything, she only comes out at night. Then she went back inside. I sat there another 10 minutes. I'm not sure why. I think I was waiting for her to come out and say she was kidding, or explain, or anything. She didn't. I drove home. I didn't sleep much that week. I didn't walk either. I stayed in my apartment. I played chess online until my eyes hurt, and I ordered groceries instead of picking them up, and I didn't go anywhere near Linden. On Wednesday, I realized something. The thing with her mouth. The shape it made. I'd been turning it over in my head for days, and I hadn't let myself look at it straight, because I already knew, in the way that you know things that you don't want to know. She'd said my name. 2 weeks passed. I mean that. 2 weeks of nothing. No walks, no hedge, no face. I started sleeping again. Not well, but enough. I started working normal hours. I played a guy from Estonia in a tournament game, and I beat him in 31 moves, and felt, for the first time since that Tuesday, like a person. I started to wonder if I'd imagined her. Not seriously. I hadn't imagined her. But the mind is a kind thing. Sometimes it softens the edges of what you saw until you can fit them inside a life again. By the end of the second week, I could say the word hedge without flinching. I thought, maybe that's how you beat it. Maybe you just don't walk by. It was a Sunday evening when the doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. I never am. I looked through the peephole the way I always do, and saw gray hair and reading glasses on a chain and a cardigan. And for a long second, I didn't place her, because she was so far out of context. She was on my doormat, in my hallway, in my building. The woman from the porch. She was holding a casserole dish. I opened the door. I don't know why I opened the door. Some part of me still thought, stupidly, that she was here to explain. That she'd come to tell me what the hedge was, how she'd lived next to it all those years, what I needed to do. She stood on my doormat and held the casserole dish out with both hands. It was warm. I could smell it through the foil. Something with onions. She smiled at me. It was a small, polite, old lady smile. The kind of smile my mother would give a neighbor. I used to walk the loop too, she said. I stood there holding the casserole dish. She didn't say anything else. Didn't really have to. She looked at me the way she'd looked at me through the hedge, over the top of her reading glasses, nodded kindly. And then she turned around and walked back down the hallway toward the stairs. I watched her go. The casserole was still warm in my hands. I closed the door, and I locked it, and I put the dish on the kitchen counter, and I stood there, staring at it, and I thought about 11 years of walking the same loop, and how every single person on that loop had a face I could picture, a yard I could describe, a dog whose name I knew. And I had never, not once in 11 years, seen the woman on the porch before that Sunday in my car. She hadn't lived there. She'd been in there, the same way the face had been in there. And me sitting in my car in the middle of the day, parked, looking, choosing, had let her out. She walked a loop. Now, I'm going to walk a loop. I'm writing this at my kitchen table. It's a little after midnight. The casserole dish is still on the counter. I haven't opened it. I don't think I'm going to. My feet are warm. They've been warm for about an hour. A specific kind of warm, like I've been walking. I haven't left the apartment. There's a hedge on Linden. I've been picturing it all night. The hollow where the leaves bunch. The way the streetlights make little halos in the mist. I think there's a space in it for me. I think I'm gonna go for a walk.